A very interesting report here. Of course, the Trump administration has been plagued with leaks. There have been constant leaks of information, and we have learned a ton of information from it. Often when there's going to be a firing soon, we'll get some information, and also things like, I remember a leak about Sean Spicer. There was a leak about Sean Spicer cracking down on the leaks, which is quite hilarious. But now we have a report on who Trump is actually suspecting of doing the White House leaks. And you'll never guess this one. It's Steve Bannon, the former CEO of Breitbart, and the guy who has a very bigoted past. But The Hill says, President Trump reportedly suspects that his chief strategist Steve Bannon is behind some White House leaks about fellow staffers, according to a new report by Axios. So now, you should take these reports with a small grain of salt, but I think that honestly you have a good chance in these simply because we've seen them materialize into real stuff in the past. And also, it seems to make sense because if you guys do recall, there was a lot of infighting going on. I'm sure there still is today because basically Steve Bannon is a economic nationalist. So if you recall, he wanted to raise the top marginal tax rate to 44%, meaning that all money made after $5 million gets taxed at 44%. And also, he was in a big fight against the deep state, and Trump had made some statements about he and Jared Kushner fighting. So I guess I could understand it because that's kind of his way to combat what he sees as his enemies or his combatants within the administration. The Hill says sources told Axios that West Wing staff believe Bannon was behind leaks about National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster and that Bannon's job could be in danger. According to the report, Trump has been, quote, irritated with Bannon's following a series of Breitbart reports targeting McMaster. Bannon was formerly the executive chairman of Breitbart. There is no clear connection, however, linking Bannon to such reports. Trump has long decried leaks of sensitive information to media, such as specifics of his Oval Office conversation with world leaders earlier this year, as well as details surrounding the palace intrigue around the White House Attorney General Jeff Sessions announced a government-wide crackdown on leaks, blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on. But anyways, the point here being that because what this is signaling to us is Steve Bannon is on the way down and he is on the way out, forget down. But the question now becomes, do we want Steve Bannon to be fired? Now here's what you have to look at it as. Because as progressives, we think that non-interventionism is the way because we think that interventionism not only causes more problems, but it inflicts more harm than good. So, for example, in Iraq, where now we have ISIS running rampant. Additionally, basically what I'm trying to say is you have him against the deep state, but also he's a white supremacist douchebag. So he could offer a lot of protections. And actually, we're going to be getting into a story later about how the Nazis actually towed the police line, but they didn't do anything, which I think is fine. I think that that's good. But the hypocrisy and the double standard is real, in my opinion. But this is something very interesting. Let me know if you guys think that Steve Bannon should be fired or not. What's up, guys? It's Saul Hill here. You guys are watching The Progressive Voice. Make sure you guys click subscribe down below. We're fighting Donald Trump tooth and nail, and we need your help.